And welcome to week number 8. So you should be really proud of yourself. This is not an easy class, and for many of you it was your first master's level class. So you have done it, and you are on the very tail end, just one assignment left to go. All right. Unlike many of your bachelor's classes, for those of you just coming into a master's program, this information, once you're done with the class, please do not purge it from your memory. When we take Biology 101 in undergrad or whatever, we know it for the class, and then we walk out and we forget it all. These you have to know from class to class, and especially for your comp exam at the end. So make sure you're going through this information. You've somehow captured it before the end of the class or before you start your new class. Flashcards, whatever is going to work for you, so that you can keep going over this to where when somebody says Simon, you know what that means. When someone says Lindblom, you immediately respond with incrementalism. So if someone woke you up in the middle of the night and said McGregor, you would yell theory X, theory Y. And not just know the theories, but be able to apply it, to look at somebody, a manager that you have at work, and say, oh, they're really kind of implementing Gulick's Poscorb there. These have to become part of you. This is not just something you memorize so that you can regurgitate. This is something that needs to become part of your consciousness as we move through. So make sure you're doing a review and you're finding a way to capture all of this before you move on to the next class. This week you just have one thing to read, which is the article on federalism and intergovernmental relations. What might help you with this is a rerun from, I think, our first week where I posted a federalism video. This concept of what is the federal government's responsibility, what is the state government's responsibility, how were we founded under dual federalism, how did that change when we got to cooperative federalism, which direction are we moving? And then for you to be thinking, which direction should we be moving? Should we be focused on more centralized government or more diversified government, more going back to much more power as we were founded to the state and local governments? So that's where we're going with this particular slide. All right, now what I want you to do is listen to last week's lecture on the critical assignment. This is due, remember, on Friday, not Sunday. This has to be due on Friday at 11:59 p.m. So make sure this one gets in on time. Late assignments are not accepted when it comes to the critical assignment. It can't be because of our structure here. So make sure you're listening to last week's lecture in this section. And remember, you're focused on an ethical dilemma that has roots in the past, present, and future of public administration. So try to think a little wide on this one. So for example, if you've got some sort of, let's say, a conflict of authority, not you personally, but us as public administrators. So what if a federal law is telling us to do something, whether it's regarding sanctuary cities, whether it's regarding, the federal law regarding marijuana, yet Colorado has legalized it. Those conflicts of authority, one law saying one thing, one law saying another, us as public administrators kind of caught in the middle. What do we do with regards to deportations? What do we do with regards to marijuana? What do we do with regards to this? Those kind of ethical dilemmas that might come in, who do we listen to? Those are the types of things that I want you to kind of think large on. If you can, use examples, but try to think more so than an ethical dilemma you have just at work with one person. So make sure that this is much broader than that, much more on a public administration scale. And how do we, if a law says we have to provide for group X, but we as public administrators have scarce resources, how do we allocate that? So we talk a lot about, if we need to help refugees from other countries, and people are dying in other countries, yet then we look at something like Chicago, where hundreds and hundreds of people are killed, almost like a war zone there. Well, where should we focus this? At the federal level, at the state level, local level? Should we be helping people on an international level? What about human rights in other countries? Where should these fights be? Again, make sure that this is focused on public administration, and you might be able to bring into here something about the dichotomy. Now, on anything at a master's level, we're between us, just our class, we're going to say it's a game, and it kind of is. The game is the answer to any kind of theory question is always going to be Wilson, Taylor, Weber. I don't care if it's a comp exam, I don't care what it is. Answer is always Wilson, Taylor, Weber. So we've got to bring in something in here to loop it around whatever topic you're talking about, having some element of the dichotomy, having some element of efficiency, having some element maybe of the bureaucracy, and how those kind of intertwine with these ethical decisions that we have to have, or these ethical dilemmas that present themselves. If you can throw in a Pendleton Act and a POSCorp and anything else, great. But remember, you're going to focus this on your thesis, anchor strongly to that, and then how are you going to expand it? This is not a book report. Do not regurgitate Wilson, Taylor, Weber. Do not regurgitate Lindblom or Simon or anybody else. What we need here are your concepts of, let's say we've got a conflict or an ethical dilemma when it comes to what the federal government says and then what our administration is told to do. Well, now, where is the right place to have that power? What would Wilson say about that? Should laws be passed and we are just administering it? Should this be dual federalism, cooperative federalism? And so you're applying those theories to this dilemma you have. So make sure you're able to weave into your paper as many of the theorists and theories that we've covered as possible as you move through this. All right. Warning here, I should have put warning on this one. Warning, the way you submit the critical assignment, for those of you who have taken classes in the program before, we have changed it. For those of you who have not taken a class yet, then don't worry about it. This is not a change, because this is just how you're going to do it from here on out. But there's going to be the area where you see the assignment of the critical assignment, and then you're going to see instructions of how to upload it into something called Task Stream. So you see on number 2 there it says agree to the Task Stream user agreement. If this is your first time submitting something like a critical assignment, you need to go to the area at the very bottom. I believe you'll see it in the table of contents. It says submit critical assignment here. You're going to click on that critical assignment, it's going to open, and it's going to ask you to agree to this user agreement. So make sure that you're giving yourself enough time. You're not trying to upload this at 11:57 on Friday night, because you need time to go through this. Then click on the critical assignment link, click work, upload your attachment there from your computer. You can either click add files or drag it directly there, upload and close. All right, here, just make sure that you're really looking at 8, 9, and 10. You're going to upload and close. You're going to save and return, but you have not submitted your work yet. So please, please, please remember that the very last step, you have to click a button that says submit work. Otherwise, I won't see it. So it kind of seems like, okay, I've uploaded it, I've closed it, and I've saved it, so I'm done. You're not done. Warning, warning, you're not done until you click the very last button called Submit Work. So make sure that you're doing this on Friday afternoon. I will try to stand by and make sure that I can see all these assignments coming in. But make sure you're giving yourself enough time in case something isn't working right, or if the software isn't quite working. All right, so that's the heads up on submitting the critical assignment. And then as soon as you do that, then congratulations, you have successfully completed the wonderful theory course. And I hope it gave you things to think about and new ideas and new perspectives on all of this. So have a very blessed week, and please keep me posted, not just during this class, but beyond this class, and let me know how you're doing. I thank you all for taking this journey with me and allowing me to take it with you, and I will talk to you soon.